So welcome to the Bell Center in Montreal, hockey's greatest rivalry. People can debate that, but the consensus is Bruins-Canadiens are the best rivalry in hockey in many circles, and we will see Jean Beliveau, Patrice Bergeron for the face-off, and away we go. Pastrnak has it for the Bruins. Hits Middleton up the left-hand side, back into the middle. Point gets it for the Canadiens to bring it back the other way. Shutt sends it in behind the net. They're going to try to get a little bit of forechecking action going, but Bourque gets there quickly. Again, the Bruins, a terrific top defensive pair. It doesn't get any better than Ray Bourque and Bobby Orr, but a good look there. Shot from Beliveau on Thomas, who makes the save. First shot of the game here, and we will have a face-off to the right of Tim Thomas. Middleton, Bergeron, and Pastrnak for the Bruins. Shutt, Beliveau, and LaFleur. Out for the Canadiens. Slap shot there. LaPointe shot misses the mark. Goes up the sidewall. Orr retrieves it. Gets it to Middleton. Bruins breaking out. Pastrnak across the blue line. Tries to set a feed there, but it's picked off. LaFleur now being pressured. Across to Beliveau. Doug Harvey. Beliveau stopped in the neutral zone, but feeds it to LaFleur. Gets in the middle. Steve Shutt. Shutt tries to get a shot off, but Orr blocked him, unable to get the shot off. And Boston has control. Orr through the neutral zone, looking for a little help. He decides to tee off the shot himself. It's steered wide. Into the corner. Scrum. Bergeron comes out of there with it. Takes a shot. Save. LaPointe digs it out. Here comes Jacques Lemaire up the near side. He gets grabbed along the center ice line. Loses control, was able to get it down behind the net, but the Bruins first errant pass in the middle. Lemaire gets it, but can't pull the trigger before Bourque is able to poke it away. Dangerous spot there for the Bruins. But the poor pass doesn't hurt them there. Orr has it, speeding up the ice as he is wont to do. Sends this one around behind the net, wraps around, pressure coming. LaPerriere gets there first for the Canadiens. Tremblay to Lemaire. Lemaire finds a little bit of open ice coming up the side. Pressured, sends it ahead of himself along the boards, retrieves it again, but now he's getting double teamed there behind the net. Krejci comes in to help him. The Bruins get control. On the sheet, go to the center. Dick Clapper. Pass is picked off by Koivu, who gets it over to the near side. And here is Henri Richard. Again, the Canadiens without Maurice Richard at the start of the LSUHL. He will come in, of course, in a future draft based on the master pools, as I mentioned earlier, and that I have been posting so that kind of everybody can see who is along the whole process. There you see Middleton. Oh, Middleton took that shot right off the knee. Over to the bench being intended to, but he's not going down the tunnel, so you can expect to see Rick Middleton come back into this game. Blake Richard, Cournoyer from Montreal, Mons O'Reilly, and Ken Hodge currently on the ice for the Bruins. Battle in the middle, sweeps loose. Hodge hands it to Mons. Mons pressured along the board, sends it behind the net. The Canadiens get there first. Here's Cournoyer, cross ice pass to Koivu, across the blue line. Chara tries to check him, but he slipped past, gets it down behind the net. Nothing comes of it. Here come the Bruins again. 14 minutes left in the opening frame here. Hodge into the center. Chara tries to get a shot off, but has it poked away before he can unload. Boom, boom, Jeffrey-on behind the net. Loose puck there. Chara digs it out. Petrie kicks his pocket. Slapper there is blocked. Jeffrey-on first to it. Goes behind the net. Brings it up the near hand side. Poked away briefly. Gets control back though, but now the Bruins have it. O'Reilly dumps it towards the corner. Johnson first man to it. Bergeron in the center. O'Reilly stuffed in front of the net. Another scrum in the front. I believe that last shot was blocked. Heads to the boards. Cooney Weiland goes to the side to retrieve it. Johnson goes in to help him, but the Bruins won't let it out of the zone. Weiland up to Boyven. Chara steps in, takes a shot. It's deflected. It slips in on Plant, who covers up for the save. 5 shots so far for the Bruins, only 2 for the Canadiens here in the early going. yet to have a penalty called in this one. Point across the ice, Harvey. To Olmstead. Olmstead across the blue line. Shot steered wide by Thomas. Crawford retrieves it up the near side. Krejci to Cam Neely. Neely to Krejci. Krejci has to hold his momentum, though. Feeds Neely. Pressure there. Crawford has it. Krug puts it down in the center, but the pass can't be handled. The Bruins, again, putting good pressure on here. Tight defending, though, from the Canadiens. Here's Olmstead across the blue line. Olmstead feeds. Harvey back to Olmstead. Olmstead kind of gets it across the wrong shoulder, though, as it's throwing out near the boards. Doesn't tee off a shot. He gets a shot there on the pass, though. Slapper Thomas steers it wide. Goes behind the net. Pass in front, score! Henri Richard puts it in. Assists from Tremblay. Trying to see who the secondary assist was for there. That poked out in front. Richard fights through the traffic and beats Thomas. I think Olmstead got the second assist there. They see the battle behind the net. And it kind of pops into the front, and Richard slips in between, goes 5-hole on Thomas, and the Canadiens take a 1-0 lead. Tremblay and Olmstead with the assist. Cournoyer tries to get a shot. Block. Oh, open net there on the rebound, but missed. Bruins catch a break there. Orr digs it into the corner, gets it out quickly. There you see Middleton. Middleton back on the ice. That shot off his knee earlier on. Pasternak. Centering pass, but Richard picks it off. Toblake along the high side. Brings it across. Cournoyer in pursuit. Fires this one towards the net. Thomas steers it wide, and the Bruins have control. Here comes Bork. Bork into the middle for Bergeron. Bergeron gets the shot off. Plante steers it wide. Bergeron gets his own rebound, though, in the corner. Scrum there. Bork over to Orr. Orr can't handle it cleanly right away, and by the time he corralled it, the defense had closed on him. Canadiens coming back the other way. Richard in the near side. Elmer Locke in the middle. Richard almost gets another good opportunity there. Not sure he actually got a shot off there or if the puck just deflected, but Thomas covers it up for the faceoff. Chet Beliveau on the floor for Montreal. Duchesne, Wineland, and Clapper on the ice for the Bruins. Coming up on 8 minutes left here in the first period. Clean game so far. Still no penalties. One of the things that I focused on with this, I was intending to release this last week. Oh, and the Bruins score. That's a softie. Clapper gets the shot off, and Plante, it looks like it slips through the wickets. And it does. Get a better angle here, perhaps. Oh boy, his own guy might have knocked that in, actually. Plante couldn't necessarily find the rebound. His defenseman comes in with him. It trickles into the net, and the Bruins get it tied up. Clapper gets credit for the goal. Cooney Wineland with the assist, and we're tied at 1. LaFleur shot. Thomas with the save. Wineland to Clapper. Line stays on the ice after the goal. Lots of pressure in the award. Good centering pass to LaFleur. LaFleur shot. Oh, kick saved by Thomas, and a beauty. Canadiens keep pressure on. Shut to Petrie. It leaves the zone. Canadiens will have to regroup. Tremblay waits for everybody to get clear. Sends it to LaFleur, who puts it, shovels it down behind the net. The Bruins get there ahead. Lucic to Clapper. Chara. Back to Lucic in the middle. Clapper from the circle tries to tee up, but he gets grabbed, and now Olmstead picks off the pass. Good recovery, though, by Chara to cut him off. Vital on the boards there. Not literally. Bruins get a little bit of a change there along the wall. Puck exits the zone. Bruins are going to do a quick change up here. And there's going to be a delayed penalty. We are going to have our first penalty of the game. Canadiens will have a man advantage here. They get the extra skater on the ice. Blake across the blue line has his pocket picked. But the Canadiens will have a power play, and it's Terry O'Reilly going to the box. That's a cross check on Blake. Well, if somebody's going to get the first penalty, Terry O'Reilly is a pretty good candidate. Cross-checking call. We will have our first power play of the game for the Canadiens. Bowen Neely will square off on the dot. For Beliveau and Cournoyer. The line out there at the moment on the power play for Montreal. Beliveau gets taken down by Orr. Wanted a call, didn't get it. And Cournoyer, consider that like advantage in soccer. No call, gets the shot off. Cournoyer puts it past Thomas. And it's a power play goal for the Montreal Canadiens, who take a 2-1 lead. So Orr cross-checks. Cross-check Beliveau. No call. The puck squirts loose, and Cournoyer scoops it up and gets it past Thomas. Orr tries to save it from crossing the line unsuccessfully. 2-1 Montreal, 4:25 left here in the first. Johnson's pass is intercepted by Krejci. Perrier picked his pocket, though. He'll send it down behind the net. Orr first to it, pressured along the boards. Orr trying to get himself out of trouble there. Tied up, pops to Perrier, but Orr picks the pocket down low. Here comes Orr, streaking through the neutral zone. Bobby Orr feeds Cowley to Neely. Shot is blocked by Johnson, who gets it to Elmer Locke, but his pass is picked off. Krejci in the middle. Shot saved by Plant, who covers up. So Boston responds to allowing the goal with a surge up the ice. They get a golden opportunity, but Jacques Plant with the save. On Bill Cowley. Obviously those stats, because this is an exhibition game, those stats were the real-life Bruins Canadian stats from last season. Perrier to Elmer Locke through the neutral zone across the blue line. Waiting for some help, feeds it. Shot is deflected. Bruins have it turning the other way. Krejci sends it behind the net on the near side there. Neely pursuing. LePerriere gets there first, though. Down behind the net, Cam Neely working that forecheck. Bodies LePerriere off. Great work by Neely. Good feed in front, but Plant holds on for the save. Bergeron and Richard on the dot here. We come up on the final 2.5 minutes of the opening period. Johnson sends it up to Blake. To Cournoyer. It's a 2-on-1 for the Canadiens. Trying to get some help. Good defending there by Torrey Krug. Pasternak cross-ice pass to Bergeron. Bergeron takes a hit, but Middleton gets the puck. Sent in close to the net. Johnson kind of gets in Plant's way there a bit, but gets control. Shot there, deflected behind the net. Richard has it. Four-man scrum behind the net. Comes out in front to Middleton, who gets a shot. Plant steers it wide. Still work behind the net. Both teams grinding it out back there. Sent up top. Pasternak. Pass is taken away by Richard, who will send it in. Habs will go for a change here. 40 seconds remaining in the first period. Pasternak through the neutral zone. The point pops it away from him, and Pasternak regroups, gets a shot off. Plant sits on that one. Looked like it probably was going just outside the post anyway, but he freezes the puck. Face off with 25.1 remaining in the first period. Tremblay to the point. Puck is poked into the corner. Hodge goes in there for it. Gets it up to Chara here in the waiting moments. Chara at the blue line. Gives it to Mons. Kara should have tried to fire off a shot there. I'm not sure he was necessarily aware of the clock. That is how the first period comes to a close. Good one going, as expected. What figures to be two of the top teams in the LSUHL here in year one. Canadiens lead Boston 2-1. So there you see, again, 12 shots to 11. You can see the hits at 6-5, and that was a big deal. Trying to get things, and there's only been the one penalty called so far, which has also been a great thing overall. So I got interrupted by a goal earlier on, but I had intended to get this out last week, and then I kind of started digging a little bit deeper. I was happy with the results, but I started digging a little bit deeper, going down the wormhole of how players' aggressiveness ratings and their discipline rating and the penalty sliders and the aggressiveness sliders for checking and the penalty sliders all kind of work together to try to strike a balance. I had shots under control in the acceptable range, and that was good. But by default, NHL 26, if you just use default rosters and default sliders, you get a ton of hits. CPU, you will have 35 to 50 hits a team, which obviously is super high. Your top teams in the NHL right now are right around 23 or 24, probably. The average is probably around 18 or so. So I kind of wanted to be in that area was the goal. I could even let it creep into the early 30s for the most physical teams in the league. Somebody like the Flyers got a pretty physical draw. The Hartford Whalers actually are a very physical squad. So those teams touch that 30 hits thing. It's not a problem, but I don't want that on a regular basis. So you'll see this is a pace of 18 to 15 in the hits, which is exactly where I would love it to be. So I'm very happy with that. But as far as the penalty minutes go, there's only been the one penalty called here. But I ran 3 sim games yesterday just because I'm always looking and checking things, and plus I've just enjoyed watching them as I put this project together. With the same sliders and all the teams rated using the same system, I had a game that had 6 penalty minutes total. I had a game that had 15 total, and I had a game that had 29 total or 32 total on the high end between the two teams. So there's a lot of diversity in the penalty totals, which is really good. So again, I'm seeing varied games, varied results, physical games, not so physical games with a lot of penalties, games not with a lot of penalties. And that's what you want when you're trying to create a project like this, is to kind of have everything. You don't want to just get the same results every time, then it feels formulaic. It's jumping out at me here, and there's no real reason for this, I don't think, other than just they're very good on the dot. But that is a shocking result. Canadiens haven't lost a faceoff as of yet. That's a funny one. We'll keep an eye on that one throughout the game. Again, everybody's rated, on the same scale and system as far as the faceoffs go. But the Canadiens have dominated on the dot to this point as we get ready for period number 2. Habs and Bruins, Bergeron and Beliveau meet at center ice for the second 20. Bruins win the faceoff. Bork to Middleton. Middleton to Bergeron. Bergeron in the slot shot. Blocked. Pasternak gets a shot off. Blonde steers it wide. Pasternak gets it back again. It's blocked, and the Canadiens come the other way. Shut to Lafleur. Lafleur racing up the high side. Bork picks his pocket. Good defense from Ray Bork. Trying to get it out of the zone, though. Beliveau won't let him. Takes a shot there through traffic. It goes wide. Harvey keeps it in the zone. Lafleur shot score! Guy Lafleur buries it for the Canadiens. There you see the slapper that goes wide. It comes out of the corner, and just Lafleur gets fed at the dot. And just fires off kind of a backhand. Oh, screen there, shut and Bork. Thomas never even saw that puck. I don't think Lafleur probably had any intention or expectation there that he was going to score on this. He's just throwing it towards the net. You'll see Shutt and Bourque right in front of Thomas. He never sees it, and it's 3-1 Canadian. If you're going strictly on team overall ratings, and I generally hate overall ratings, but if we're just kind of looking at how they came about as things processed out, as far as the first draws, the year one draws, the Canadiens and the Blackhawks are the two highest rated teams for year one. But I know there's a lot of Boston fans who follow the channel. I know that it's a very active fan base in like sports simulations and dynasties, group and stuff like that. So I figured I would use the Bruins here too. They're just a fun team. I mean, how could you not want to play with Bobby Orr? So I figured this would be a good matchup to do. Beliveau through the neutral zone, sends it in. He gets it. He's pressured down in the corner. Kicks it along the boards. Bergeron picks off the pass. Here's Chara. Big fella comes up the near side into Hodge. Hodge is checked off the puck. Tremblay gets it. Gets it out across the blue line. O'Reilly corrals it though from Boston. Shipped in by Krug. They try to get the forecheck going. Krug comes in, feeds into the middle of the Hodge, but Hodge can't get the shot off. Canadians bring it the other way. Coming up on 16 minutes left in the second period. Elmer Lack. Puck leaves the zone out across the blue line. Tremblay, that was almost offside. Tremblay feeds Lemaire there. Oh boy. And Thomas was a little bit out of position. If Lemaire had been able to get a stick on that, he might have been able to put it in. But the Habs will get a power play here as Chara is going to get whistled for the second penalty of the game. Dino Chara with a holding call will give the Habs, who are already up, 3-1 here. A power play. This is a big power play for the Bruins to try to kill off. Theo Boyven tries to get it out of the zone. Comes through neutral ice, takes a check, keeps control of the puck though. Can't do it a second time. Here's Lemaire across the blue line. Lemaire at the dot, tries to send it into the middle. Mons gets control. Mons has a bit of room here. Up the ball on the near side. Mons skating into Neely. Shot. Slapper from Neely goes wide. Bruins keep it in the zone. Despite shorthanded, and now they give up the breakaway. Boom, boom, Geoffrion across the blue line. One-on-one with Thomas. Shot saved by Thomas, who covers it up. Oh, that apparently, I thought he had it covered, but he never quite got control of it. Geoffrion takes another poke at him. But Thomas is able to corral it. Geoffrion went, he peeked, he went to the right, to the forehand, but kind of struggled getting the shot off. Thomas is able to come up with the save. Cournoyer has it poked away. Here's Bourque. To Orr. Orr feeds it up to Clapper, up the right-hand side. Clapper bodied by Harvey. Cournoyer to Beliveau. 30 seconds left on the Canadiens' power play. Here's Lafleur. Across the blue line. Sends it down behind the net. Bourque reads it well, but he's pressured behind the net by Beliveau. Good centering pass, but Orr able to poke it away. Get it to Hodge through the neutral zone. 2 seconds left, and the Bruins successfully kill off the power play, and that's a huge one for Boston. Habs will send it in, try to change up, or gets there to that puck first. We're back to 5-on-5, and now there's going to be a penalty on the Canadiens. Cam Neely, delayed penalty, shot, saved by Blunt. Play comes to a halt, and now Jean Beliveau will take his way to the box. The first penalty against the Canadiens in this one as he cross-checks Orr. Pretty blatant there from Beliveau. 2 minutes at 7:16. 3-1 Canadiens here in period number 2. Pasternak, Bergeron, and Middleton will get the first crack at it for the Bruins. In the faceoff, Hodge, Chara. Pasternak down low to Bergeron. Working, gets it around behind the net. Pass to Middleton. Shot deflected wide. Geoffrion gets it, sends it down the ice, and Chara will go back to retrieve. Obviously, no icing on the penalty kill. Here's Pasternak up the near side. Sends it down behind the net. Middleton feed in the middle. Slapper goes wide. Bergeron teed that one up, but it was well off the mark, and the Canadiens send it down the ice again. Kind of a mishit there. Thomas, it comes near the net. Thomas just corrals it. I probably just should have just left that laying to Bork there, rather than give up the faceoff in their own end. No harm, no foul there, though. The Bruins win the puck on the faceoff. Fretchy to Cowley to Neely to Cowley. Cowley's shot. Plante saves, steers it wide. Petrie gets it out of there. 43 seconds left on the Bruins power play as they skate back to retrieve it. Chara behind the net to Hodge. Here comes Neely. Up the near side across the blue line. Cowley. Feed. Fretchy. Poked away in the middle. That pass was blocked. Charge gets it down behind the Bruins net. Olmsted on the forecheck shot. Saved by Thomas. Good opportunity despite being short-handed for the Canadiens. You see the terrific Jacques Plante there. It was on Cowley, I believe. Plante with the blocker save. Steers that one aside. I think it was Cowley he denied earlier, too. So Cowley getting a little bit frustrated by Jacques Plante. Pasternak, Bergeron, and Middleton for Boston. Lemaire and Blake out to try to kill off the final 2 seconds of this penalty for the Habs before we get back to even strength. Here comes Bork. Bork to Middleton. Middleton across the blue line. From the dot, pass into the middle. Beliveau picks it off. Bergeron has it, has a little bit of space to work with. Cuts inside, he's going to take the shot. Shot goes wide behind the net, bounces out in front. The Canadiens get control. Blake pressured along the boards. To Beliveau. Beliveau across the blue line. Gets hit by Bork, and Pasternak takes the loose puck. Bruins coming the other way. Pass across ice to Middleton. Middleton to Bergeron. Bergeron shot. Great block there. Sends that one wide. I believe that was Harvey on the block. Bergeron to Middleton. Lemaire ends up with the loose puck, and the Canadiens come the other way. Harvey shovels it down behind the net. Bork first guy to it, head of the forecheck. Middleton gets it over to Orr. Pasternak sends it down behind, wraps around, right down in the corner. Harvey wins it. He'll win most of those. Here's Cournoyer up to the near side. He whips it around the boards. Blake gets there first. Blake looking central. Torrey Krug back there. Bodies him along. And there's a penalty, and that's going to be on Krug. That's going to be a holding call on Torrey Krug. Not letting Blake free after he got rid of the puck. The Habs will get another power play. Both sides have had a pair. Trombley, shot, block, Beliveau in front. Good save by Thomas. Somebody lost their stick. And Clapper hits one. It kind of hits off. I don't know if that hit off one of the bars on the glass or whatever, but it deflects out of play. And we will have a face-off. 7:47 left in period number 2. 3-1 Montreal. Boyven to Lucic, who has it poked away. Great pressure from Pasternak in front. I'm sorry, Bergeron in front of the net. despite being short-handed, and Plant has to cover up, but we've got a face-off. Minute 27 left before Beliveau-Cournoyer on the power play for Montreal. Plant puts it behind the net. Cournoyer to Beliveau. Beliveau through the neutral zone. LaFleur. LaFleur skates in. A good feed. Cournoyer gets the shot, but Thomas holds on for the save. Nicely done here by Thomas. That's a great look, but a glove save from Thomas. Thomas comes up big there. Shard on the dot. Face off. Lemaire takes the shot. It's deflected wide. Harvey in front. Oh, what a save from Thomas. Oh, on the doorstep. Geoffrion right in front of the net, and Thomas with a beauty. You can see the frustration on Boom Boom Geoffrion. He thought he had a goal there, but Thomas robs him. 48 seconds left on the Canadiens' power play. Shutt across the blue line. Shutt has an open look there, but not for long. Poked away. He regroups, though. Pass in front. Geoffrion feeds Richard. Shot wide. Richard gathers it, though. Hodge pokes it away from him. Bruins got to get this out of their end. Crawford to Boyven. Boyven takes a shot. Plant with the save. He'll cover it up. 3 seconds left on the Canadiens' power play. So after the Canadiens won the first 12 faceoffs in this game, the Bruins have won 7 of the last 12. Wrapped around. Orr first to get it. Orr whips a pass across to Cowley. Try to break out for the Bruins. They're back at even strength. Bergeron skates in. Shot. Plant with the save. Steered into the corner. The point gets it first, but Krug ends up with it. Bergeron. Chara bodied off. That's a tall order. No pun intended. Calvi gets there first. Canadiens putting a lot of pressure on. Calvi to Bourque. Bourque through the neutral zone. Gives it to Krug. Krug cuts inside. Shot saved by Plant. Bourque retreats. Gets it to Chara. Chara to Cowley. Krejci Bergeron. Shot. Another save from Plant. Boston trying to get a little bit more shots on goal here in these last couple of minutes. Good job by Krejci coming back with the back check. Boyven hits Cowley. Cowley looks like he's looking for somebody. LaFleur picks off the pass, but O'Reilly ends up with it after a deflection. Can't do anything with it, though. Boyven around center ice. We've got a penalty here, and that penalty is going to be on Montreal. On Cournoyer. Against Boyven. That's going to be another hold. Is that holding or interference? Yep, it's going to be another holding call. And keeps him pinned along the boards. The Bruins with a power play opportunity here. They would be well advised to try to cash this one in. 3:04 left in the second. 3-1 Montreal. Funny, the Bruins have tried to build on the penalty kill instead of just dumping in. The Canadiens just want to send it down the ice. Orr to Middleton. Middleton back to Orr. Pasternak gets a shot off. Not much on it. That may have been partially blocked. Chara rips a shot. Locke tries to get it clear. Hodge keeps it in his own. Middleton in front. Shot. Score! Oh, beautiful pass from Middleton, and Patrice Bergeron bags it, and the Bruins are within one. That starts with Hodge keeping it in the zone. Check that. It steps right in front of the blue line, keeps it in. Middleton, a great look. And Bergeron just kind of slips in behind here. Defender loses him, and Bergeron on the terrific pass from Middleton finds the back of the twine. And it's now 3-2. So the Bruins cash in on the power play. Bergeron from Middleton and Hodge. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Chief beats his man. Nice push there by Malone Lucic towards the net, driving hard. Olmstead along the far boards. Through the neutral zone. Gives it up, gets it back. Skates in, tries to get a shot off, and Olmstead takes that pretty much the length of the ice. He gave it up for a second, a little give and go, but that was all Bird Olmstead. Thomas covers up for the faceoff. Olmstead, Koivu, and Tremblay. Lucic, Weiland, and Clapper. Koivu to Tremblay. Tremblay, Weiland blocks his shot attempt. Here comes Koivu the other way. Across the blue line. Feed in front. That's a good look from Tremblay, but Thomas covers up. I got to put the initials on the last name. They're on the jersey, but I got to put the initials on the last name for the Tremblay because I never know which one has the puck. Harvey sets, sends it down low. Koivu fires off, and Thomas snares it. One thing that the Bruins haven't gotten going a lot so far in this one is setting up Bourque and Orr to shoot. I think he's only taken one or two shots. I think one of Bourque came on a deep carry. Here's Olmstead. Olmstead centers into the middle. Thomas, oh, that's a loose puck. Ends up yielding a shot on net, but Thomas with the save as the second period comes to a close. But the Bruins draw within one. Bergeron puts it in. 3-2 halves as we head to period number 3. Check out our stats. You can see 25-24. So the pace on the shots picked up a little bit in that second period. Hits are still low. They're still where we want them. We like that. 7 and 10. But you're still getting, you can see there have been plenty of checks. There's still been penalties. It's just a little bit of a lower penalty game, but not, 6 and 4 is totally fine. So we're liking what we are seeing here. And obviously, just as I would say, if the results weren't looking good, just because the results are looking good, yes, it is only one game, but I have, of course, run 50-plus sim games during the course of the last couple of weeks as far as checking and double checking and triple checking this project and honing it. So happy with how it is playing out rather than ramble. We're just going to get to period number 3 here in Montreal. Good one between the Bruins and Canadiens. So the Bergeron goal has Boston feeling hopeful here to open up the third. Only a one-shot difference between the two teams. Here's Middleton. Middleton from the dot. Looks to the center. Pasternak gets a shot off on the move. Blunt gloves it. And he will hold on for the faceoff. Array of saves from Plant during the course of this game. He's certainly been tested. Middleton, Bergeron, and Pasternak. Shut Beliveau on the floor. Your forward lines here on the faceoff. Bourque to Orr. Back to Bork. Bork slappers deflected in front of the net. To Orr at the point. Orr fires one off. Wide of the mark. So as we were talking about that at the end of the second period, Bruins changing it, and there it is. Orr with the shot. Bergeron tips it in, and we are tied in Montreal. Bergeron from Orr and Bork. That's funny. I talked at the end of the second period that Bork and Orr did not seem to be shooting a lot. They take 3 shots during that sequence. And this one is tipped in by Bergeron, and the Bruins have tied it up. That's a beautiful tip from Bergeron, who gets his second of the game. .19-14 remaining. We're tied at 3. Bergeron from Orr and Bork at 46 seconds of period number 3. Middleton across the blue line. Bruins have certainly taken momentum here. Middleton feeds. Pass poked away. Shut. Harvey to LaPointe. Middleton tries to beat LaPointe, who defends him well. Delabo. Middleton picks off the pass. Here's Bergeron. Bergeron sends it up the ice. Forecheck coming for the Bruins, but Canadiens get there first. Harvey to Delabo. To Shut. Shut pressured off by Pasternak. Pasternak gets a good opportunity. Plant with the save. Steers it out to the corner. Harvey up to Shut through the neutral zone. Here's Jacques Lemaire. As it poked away, Bork, the first guy to receive it. Gets it to Orr, who gets it to Pasternak. On the cheek through the neutral zone across the blue line. Bodied. Got tied up there. Lucic wanted a whistle. Doesn't get it. Richard to the Perrier. Back to Richard. Richard shot. Oh, he teed that one up, but Thomas snares it with the glove. That might have been going over the crossbar. Check here on Fournoyer. Denied by Thomas. Fournoyer has been active in this game for sure. There was the goal. Bork just late to save that one from crossing. Johnson. LaPerriere. LaPerriere with the shot. Krejci blocks it. Now Krejci has a breakaway. Krejci coming in one-on-one with Plant. Shot saved by Plant. Rebound. He saves that one too and covers it up. Jacques Plant denies him twice. On the breakaway. And keeps this game tied at 3. Krejci poked that one away, got the breakaway, but Plant able to stand up to it. 16-17 remaining, still tied at 3. And a fun one here in Montreal. Neely, shot, Plant with the save. Once again, he will hold on to cover. Play. Fournoyer around behind the boards. Richard feed in front to Blake. Don't think that shot ever got through. I think it was poked away before he got the shot off. Neely, borderline offsides, but he holds on to it. Tries to make sure everybody's clear. Indians end up with it. Getting out of their own end. Krejci steals it. Neely takes a shot. He gets tied up, but he's able to recover the puck and get a shot off. That one wasn't at the velocity that Cam Neely was hoping for, as he and Gilles Tremblay have some words at the... other Tremblay. There's like 5 Tremblays. But there is Tremblay. On cue, no less. Dick Clapper bodies him off. Chara sends it down behind the net. Circles around. Cooney Weiland feeding the front. Lucic can't quite handle it cleanly. Weiland up to the point. Pass can't be handled, and now Lemaire. Lemaire cuts to the middle. 2-on-1. Feeds it to Locke. Orr positioned himself well there. Lemaire probably could have taken a shot there. But Orr stands up to the 2-on-1. Canadiens come up with it with nothing. That'll be deflected out of play. We'll have a face-off. 13:23 remaining in Montreal. Bruins 3, Canadiens 3 in this Legend Sports Universe Hockey League exhibition game. Again, as I mentioned, before I started this game, and I talked about when I started the project, we're going to be simming through the regular seasons for the first few years as I try to get the Legend Sports Universe on the unified timeline. So I have to get all the other projects to catch up to the baseball project, which is a few years ahead in game time, obviously, not real time, before I can do that. So we're going to sim through the regular season. I will do a regular season recap video of sorts once I get that done, and then we will broadcast the playoffs here on the channel for year one. So we will have playoff hockey coming up in short order here on the channel. O'Reilly, pass there, slips through everybody. Goes down behind the net. Harvey retrieves it. Harvey to Blake. Blake to Beliveau. Two of the original 6 teams here. We got some old school hockey players out on that ice right now. Blake pressured along the boards. Tries to fight off Pasternak. Pasternak so tenacious. 4 guys in the corner. Crawford comes out of there with it for the Bruins. 10.5 minutes remaining. Pasternak. Cross. Pass can't be handled. Petrie has it. Through the neutral zone. Petrie to Shutt. Shutt tees it off. Thomas steers it to the side with the stick save. Cowley cross-ice pass to the near side. Canadiens end up with it. Blake to Petrie. Petrie to Shutt. Trying to find a little bit of space. Gets it to Blake across the blue line. Shifty skating by Blake. Nicely done. Tries to get it into the center, but Bergeron pokes it to Cowley. Now here's Pasternak. Across the blue line. Into the center. Poked away by Beliveau. Play to Shutt. Shutt sends it in. Canadiens hoping for a forecheck there, but Bork read that play beautifully. Got to it well ahead of anybody on Montreal. And there's going to be a penalty there. Cross check on Rick Middleton. Middleton, not a high penalty guy. But that is a pretty blatant, especially since he hit him again while he was on his knees. So Middleton takes a unfortunate penalty for the Bruins. And now the dangerous Canadian squad will get an opportunity on the power play in a 3-3 game. Harvey, the floor. Shot, saved by Thomas into the corner. Boyven gets it. That time Boyven will send it down the ice. Again, the Bruins have tried to attack when they've been shorthanded so far this game. That time Boyven just sends it down the ice, playing a little bit more defensively. Had to shift the floor, tries to beat Bork, but Bork not having any of it. He tried to do the self-pass around Bork. No such luck. Here's Beliveau. Beliveau through the neutral zone, across the blue line. Almost been out there for a while. He seems a little bit fatigued. See if there's going to be a change up here coming for the Canadiens. And there is. He's off the ice. You can tell by the way he was moving. Beliveau needed a break there. Cournoyer drives to the net, but he has his pocket picked. Again, Bork. Bork has had a terrific defensive game here. No shock there. He has made several really strong defensive plays, as has Bork particularly on the defensive side. Down into the corner, Clapper being pressured. There is Bork. Bork's been on the ice for a while here. In crunch time, Chara. Chara tries to send it up, but Olmstead picks it off. Olmstead tries to get it across. Mons steps in, blocks that. Koivu across the blue line for Montreal. At the dot, holds up, tries to get a pass through. Bork blocked that, but Canadiens keep it in the zone. Here's Cooney Weiland. 5:40 remaining. Tie game, 3-3. Weiland drives in. Deflected. Oh, Lucic got a good look there. Plante steers it to the side of the net. Lucic gets another opportunity. Scrum in front. Can't get another shot off. It gets tied up. And now here's Trombley. Trombley to Koivu. Pass can't be handled, but Olmstead keeps it in the zone. Out to the point. The point feeds. Slapper there. Gets through. Thomas holds on. One-timer. Snared by Thomas, but Plante slips through there. Lucic on the doorstep. Lemaire gets in the way there. That was almost a disaster for the Canadiens. But Plante on the post denies Milan Lucic. We stay tied at 3. I mean, I always thought it was Lucic, but then I heard the game audio actually call him Lucic, and I just assumed that I assumed that I had been pronouncing it wrong. LaFerriere. Shard with the shot. Saved by Thomas. Feed it in the middle. Another save by Tim Thomas. So Thomas coming up big in that sequence. See Cam Neely. Ooh. Oh. Cam Neely destroyed. Oh, man. I can't tell who that was. Jeffrey on? But Neely lays the lumber to somebody. Pasternak to Krug. To Crawford. Back to Krug. Krug. Oh, there's a little bit of space. Here's Pasternak. Pasternak pulls it up. Sends it in. Deflected. Pasternak gets to it. Shot from Middleton. Saved by Plante, who covers up, and there will be a face-off. The Bruins have taken momentum. Remember, they were down 3-1 in this game. They scored late in the second to get within 1. They scored early here in the third to knock the score. First half of this game was all Canadian. Second half has been all Boston. Johnson. I think that's Tom Johnson, if I remember correctly. Malak pass there, can't be handled. Here's Bergeron. Bergeron has it poked away from him, and there is Johnson. Johnson getting a little bit closer than his circumference in the net there. Here is Jeffrey. Jeffrey's 5. I'm blanking on who's 6. I haven't done enough of these to have everybody's numbers. I'm usually pretty good at recalling numbers of guys. But trying to identify who got laid to waste by Cam Neely on that hit earlier. On the net, LaPerriere comes out with it. Minute 15 remaining in regulation. Bork rips a slapper, saved by Plante. And the Canadiens send it. That's going to go down the ice. And we're going to have an icing call. Ward touches it up. 54 seconds remaining. In regulation, we are tied at 3. Jeffrey being harassed by Krejci. Krejci sends it in. He's going to circle behind the net. Neely down into the corner. Canadiens keep control. Fight along the boards. Taken just outside the blue line by Boyven. Boyven trying to skate to find open space. Takes a shot instead there. Plante steers it wide. 23 seconds. LaPerriere to Locke. Jeffrey on to LaPerriere. Locke again. Cowley picks his pocket. Jeffrey on to Lemaire. Brought down. Wants a call. Not going to get it. 7 seconds. O'Reilly trying to fight his way through. O'Reilly comes up with it. Blocked by LaPerriere. Middleton tees one off well wide of the mark as time runs out. 3-3. At the end of regulation in our exhibition games. is going to go to overtime. Bruins 3, Canadiens 3 in Montreal. Take a look at our numbers. 37 shots to 30 in favor of the Bruins. Canadiens still with that face-off advantage, but nowhere near it was. Remember, the Canadiens won the first 12 face-offs of this game. Now, the Bruins have beat them 16-15 since then. That was funny, but just a little statistical anomaly. Overall numbers are fine. 4 power plays, Canadiens 1 of 4, Bruins 1 of 2. Hits still where we like them, 12 for the Bruins, 15 for Montreal. Happy with what we're seeing here. It's funny. Well, actually, you know what? Wait, we'll do a player stat check once the game is over. We'll get back down to the ice here for the overtime. 3-3, Bruins and Canadiens. So ice will open up a little bit here. Lafleur and Beliveau for Montreal. Pasternak and Bergeron. 4 out there for Boston. Harvey on the ice for Montreal. Here's Beliveau. Beliveau from the circle. Cuts into the middle. And there's going to be a penalty. And they're going to call Orr for holding in the corner. The penalty numbers are good, but holding isn't really a call that gets made a ton. So I wish that was kind of distributed like that. We haven't had a tripping call yet. There have been an abundance of holding calls, and that one on Orr. You know, Orr, as great as it was, Orr did take a lot of penalties. Orr was the 100 penalty minute guy pretty regularly. That's an inopportune one there. So the Canadiens will have 4 on 3 for another minute 45. Harvey to Richard. Tries to cut inside, is stood up. Clapper fights his way through. And Harvey is not sick either. I don't really know who that was. Nearly killed. Lemaire's shot blocked. Not even sure that was intentionally blocked by Bork, but it deflects off and goes to the corner, and Bork sends it down the ice. Lemaire will go back and retreat. 3:30 left in overtime. Minute 4 left on the Canadiens power play. Cournoyer drives to the net. Richard back to Cournoyer. Shot saved by Thomas. Loose puck though. Cournoyer pokes away at it again. It gets knocked wide. Chara to Clapper, who's going to go and shovel that one down. Get it clear. Kill a little bit more of this penalty off. Elmer Lack to Steve Shutt. Shutt through the neutral zone. Tries to cut inside. Chara stands up to him. Finds some space, sends it down the ice again. Well done by Zdeno Chara. Koivu to left. Bergeron. Time running out on the penalty, and we've got 4-on-4 hockey. Orr is back on the ice, but that will quickly come to a halt as the puck goes out of play, and we will go to 3-on-3. Moore and Beliveau, Pasternak and Bergeron. Orr is the defenseman on the ice at the moment for Boston. Point, the defenseman on the ice for Montreal. Orr sends it, wraps it around the boards. Bork gets there first. Pressured by Lapointe along the sidewall. Lapointe jars it loose. Lafleur, shot, blocked. Lafleur recovers, tipped, in front. Redirect, but Thomas stays with it and covers it up. Minute 27 left in overtime. Tied at 3. Harvey to Lafleur. Lafleur can't quite find the handle right away, fortunately for Boston. Work to Cowley. Poked away by Lafleur. Lafleur comes in, shot, score! Canadiens win it! Guy Lafleur, have a day! Lafleur pokes it away, recovers and beats Thomas in overtime, and the Montreal Canadiens win our exhibition LSUHL preview game / mod discussion or whatever you want to call it. 4-3 here in Montreal. Cowley gets his pocket pick. LaFleur, nice move there. Gets Thomas down on the ground. Flips it up over him. Beauty backhand from LaFleur. And the Canadiens pick up the victory. Well, that was fun. Oh, man, I missed calling hockey. Hockey is so much fun to call. I mean, I love calling baseball just because it's baseball. You know, that's kind of my... I mean, I love... Although I don't call basketball here on the channel anyway, but I let the NBA 2K do that. Because the production on those in that game, which is very good, and I think they call it a good enough game that I don't need to meddle in that. But yeah, I mean, I love doing baseball. I love doing football broadcasts too. But I really enjoy hockey. Hockey's fun. Hockey's a test because there's never a break. It is the third star, Patrice Bergeron, a pair of goals for the Bruins. Bergeron had a really, really strong game. Dean Bellevue, 3 assists for Bellevue. Your first star with a pair of goals, including the overtime game winner, Guy Lafleur. That's a beauty. Poked it away there from Cowley and puts it in. And the flower, Guy Lafleur, gives the Canadiens the win. So there you see your final stats, 37-35. Bruins had the shot advantage. Hits, again, right where we like them. We like that. And again, your more physical teams have a few more hits. Oh, there's O'Reilly crushing somebody. That's actually a little bit surprising low total, actually, for the Bruins. I mean, the Bruins they have a lot of guys who aren't physical on this roster, but the guys who are physical, you know, O'Neal, combining the two of them, O'Neal, that's all right. O'Reilly, Neely, you know, Orr would certainly check people. Bork would check people. Zdeno Chara. So that was actually a little bit lower than what the Bruins have typically been putting up as far as hit totals. Obviously, the Canadiens' talent moving the puck around and skating-wise certainly had something to do with that. But overall, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that hit total. That's where we want things. That's a real NHL hit total. Power plays, Canadiens get 5. Bruins get 2. Again, that's a number that we like. The highest penalty game that I've had since running it, I think I had a 30 combined, not one team. I think I had a 30, 36. I want to say I think there was 20 and 16. Maybe it's 34, 18 and 16, something like that. That was the Whalers. Who the hell did the Whalers play? It may have been Whalers Coyotes or something like that. Hitting those teams against each other as the semi kind of sort of expansion teams. I'm really glad that I decided to get the Whalers, the Nordiques, and the Coyotes involved in this. It's gonna feel better having those teams involved than doing a smaller league and leaving them out and stuff like that. I know the Avalanche withstood losing the Nordiques guys pretty well. The Avalanche still have a really good roster. The Hurricanes were certainly hurt by losing some of the Whalers guys. Well, the Whalers roster on the whole is not that strong. That the Whalers didn't get Ron Francis in the year one draw really hurts them. They've got a lot of physical, grinded out guys. But Francis is a guy who could really kind of make that engine go for them. So to not draw Francis in year one, again, obviously he will come in a future draft for them. He just won't come in. He will not be there to start. So that wraps up our preview game, our preview broadcast. So basically, I'm going to go and I'm going to do the season. I will simulate the regular season. I will do a video. We'll probably have a decent little bit of length to it, but we'll try not to ramble too much. But just to kind of discuss all the teams and how they went during the regular season. and then we will pick up with Year 1 playoff broadcast. Again, it'll basically be the same thing that I did with the LSUBA season that just completed, when we went through the regular season, then we did the playoffs. I would broadcast every potential clincher over the first 2 rounds, and then every game of the conference finals and the Stanley Cup finals here on the channel. And then we will move on to Year 2 and so on and so forth. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you will bang that like button if you haven't as of yet. Subscribe if you haven't as of yet. Follow all the LSUHL and the rest of the Legend Sports Universe action here on the channel. And if you have NHL 26, download the roster. It'll be up in the vault the next day or two. I'm trying to clear out, because of the way I'm doing it, you have to do this in season mode rather than franchise mode, because EA and all of their stupidity. You can't run franchise mode and control more than one team. And you can't even control, you can only control one team in franchise mode, and you can't watch any game not involving the team that you control. Which means not only, for our purposes now, again, I'm going to be quick going through the regular season, but that means in the playoffs, I couldn't watch, if I clicked just to say I would quote unquote control, even though I wouldn't really be controlling them, because I don't control anybody in the sports universe. But I clicked on the Islanders as the team I chose to control, and then simmed through the Islanders season and whatever. I couldn't watch any game not involving the Islanders, including the playoffs. So if the Islanders were to miss the playoffs or they get knocked out of the playoffs, I can't watch any of the other playoff games. So like a Stanley Cup would happen, and I couldn't watch the Stanley Cup if the Islanders weren't in it, which defeats the entire purpose of the project. So I have to do this in season mode, when then I will have control over all of the teams, and I'm working out trade mechanisms and stuff like that, because trades will still be a part of the project. But now I forgot what my original thought was, as want to happen. But when I was, oh my goodness, I hate when that happens. Oh my God, I completely lost my thought. Don't get old, people. Having to go into season mode. Yeah, I totally lost it. I totally lost what I was going to discuss there. So rather than have me just stammering here for 5 minutes, I assure you it was a brilliant thought. It was surely not brilliant, but it was going to be informative. But I'm sure it will come up at some other point, because yeah, I have completely lost it. Oh well, maybe my wife is right. Anyway, you all have yourselves a great night. Oh yes, now I found it. Okay. It's all about uploading the roster. So it doesn't impact me in the mode that I'm going to play this out, because I'm going to control all the moves, because I control all the teams. But I'm trying to eliminate the free agent pool, so that the game, before I upload it, so that other people play the project and want to use it in franchise mode, are only going to control the one team that they want to play with or whatever. You don't have teams picking up all these guys who are on the free agent, in the free agent pool, like guys like Gordie Howe and stuff like that, who aren't in the project, who aren't on any roster in year 1. Again, Gordie Howe will obviously come into the league down the line. But they'll just gobble up guys from the free agent list and bastardize the roster. So I'm trying to get all the free agent stuff, the free agent pool cleared out. So stay tuned on my Facebook page, and obviously in the Facebook groups that I post in Sports Simulations, Dynasties, Rules of Dice, and MLB The Show roster and Sports Game Journal. And I will post once I have the roster up in the vault, but it'll be a day or two, and we'll get this up and running. Anyway, enough of that. Thanks again. Bang the like, subscribe if you haven't, and most importantly, be good to each other. And we'll talk soon. The Canadiens take down the Bruins 4-3 in overtime.